All right, please forgive my voice. Apparently I have allergies to grass and I had to cut a lawn that was about a foot tall, so bear with me today. We're going to look at story. What is the story? Many writers can get confused about this, and there are many definitions out there about what the story is, what a story is. I've heard many different understandings of it, and I'm going to talk about the definition that I like, and I'm going to show you a very popular one by an author, E.M. Forster. E.M. Forster, he says, this is what a story is to him, or the difference between a story and a plot, I guess I should say, but he defines it by showing the contrasting nature of the two. He says, we have defined a story as a narrative of events arranged in their time sequence. A plot is also a narrative of events, the emphasis falling on causality. The king died and then the queen died is a story. The king died and then the queen died of grief is a plot. The time sequence is preserved, but the sense of causality overshadows it. It isn't. If it is in a story, we say, and then. If it is in a plot, we ask, why? So this definition, or this excerpt of his whole definition, because he wrote an entire book about what a novel is, this can be quite confusing to some people because it's so technical and it's so detailed that really I don't like it when something so creative as like creative writing or any of the creative arts gets too technical on me, when they have these really detailed definitions and explanations for things. It just doesn't gel with me. So maybe it does to you, but to me, a story is the purpose behind everything that happens in the piece. I write piece because, you know, we could be writing short stories, we could be writing novels, we could be writing graphic novels, we could be creating a film, you know, writing a script, whatever it is, the story is the purpose behind everything that happens. Everything that happens being the plot. So the story is the purpose or the meaning behind the action that occurs in the story, or the script, or the novel, whatever it is. I like that definition because it makes me think, what is the purpose of me including this action, this plot point in my story? Does it have purpose toward the story, or am I just writing this because I think it sounds good, think it sounds fun, you know? It helps you step back and say, is there meaning behind this? And does that meaning have to do with my story? So it helps you reevaluate what you're doing exactly. Let's take a look at a very popular film, and one of my favorite films of all time, Rocky. So Rocky, many of you may know the story, some of you may not. So I'm just going to walk you through the plot of Rocky Balboa. Tell him, Rock. So what we have, essentially, other than him cracking eggs, the basis behind Rocky is this world heavyweight champ, not Rocky, Apollo Creed. He needs a new opponent because the opponent he was supposed to face is injured, and so now he's going to, with a promotional genius, he comes up with this plan that he's going to give this down on his luck nobody a shot at the title. It was purely for promotional purposes. You know, Apollo Creed never thought that, you know, a nobody would ever even go the distance. So he does this. Rocky trains hard throughout the film. He meets a nice young lady, Adrian, yeah, that's her name. Sorry. And he trains a lot. It's a lot of drama, a lot of stuff that happens in the movie. And he goes the distance with Apollo Creed. He ends up going the distance. He doesn't win, but he shocks the world because he's able to fight, go to the end of the 15 rounds with Apollo Creed in this competitive fight that's broadcasted, you know, across the nation. So it's huge. You go, Rocky. So everything that happens, the plot, happens because of the story, the purpose. It's very important to remember that. And many of you, it's something that you have to kind of wrap your head around. But everything that you have in the movie needs to happen because of this greater meaning, this greater purpose, this story that you have come up with. So your first thing, a lot of people come up with cool characters or come up with cool plot points. And like I said, they could write a story and, it could be interesting, but it may not have much depth to it. You need to think, what is the story behind what I'm going to tell? And is it compelling? Does it have some meat to it? Does it have something that people can appeal to and really get behind and really enjoy reading? So here's the story of Rocky, essentially. Rocky, the underdog, overcomes great odds to find love and self-worth and going the distance with the champ. So everything in Rocky, the movie, is covered under this statement. He overcomes great odds throughout the entire movie. He's dealing with these inner struggles. He's very self-conscious about his abilities. He doesn't feel capable of competing against the champ, but at the same time, he feels like he is capable. So he overcomes these inner struggles that he has, overcomes the great odds, and he finds self-worth in himself. He does find love, and it all comes about because he's given this shot. He's given this shot to face the champion. And so everything in the movie points back to this story, this simple and essential story. Nothing in the movie is there just because the writer or the director felt like, you know what, I kind of like this scene of him shopping in a grocery store, so I'm just going to include that in there. It has nothing to do with him finding self-worth and overcoming great odds or finding love, but I kind of like it. No, he shops in a pet store in the movie, and he meets this woman that he ends up marrying. So there's always a purpose to everything. This is the story of Rocky, and everything in the movie points back to the story, the simple, essential story. Everything in your stories, everything in your short stories, everything that you do needs to point back to your essential and your simple story. You should be able to sum up your story in about a sentence. Your plot, on the other hand, could take up, a couple pages just describing the plot. And then obviously, dozens of pages just describing it in detail and having the narrative out there. But I really would like you to think about story. Think about your story, your short stories that you're writing. Think about what is the meaning or the purpose behind that. And are you including in your little plot points, in the descriptions that you're giving, does it point back to the heart of what you're doing? Does it point back to the story? And if it doesn't, it probably needs to be cut. Or you can reevaluate what kind of story you're trying to tell. But I really want you to think about this, because this really is the heart of your pieces, your writing. It's the story. And everything hinges on that. So that's it for this week. Let me know if you have any questions. You have an assignment posted in Blackboard. Good luck.